Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into something really fascinating. We're going to connect a centuries-old Japanese philosophy with some super modern financial theory. It sounds like two different worlds, right? But what's amazing is that both of these paths lead to the exact same powerful idea about the future of business.
You know, for the longest time, businesses have been stuck on this one big question. What's the point? Should a company just be a machine for making money, or should it exist to serve some kind of higher purpose?
And for decades, people saw this as a battle, right? A real zero-sum game. The thinking was, if you spend money on some social good, well, that's just less money for your shareholders. It was this constant tug of war where one side always had to lose.
But that old way of thinking, it's starting to fall apart. There's this huge shift happening all over the world. People are waking up to the fact that just chasing short-term profits, well, it's just not sustainable. And listen, this isn't some niche fringe idea anymore. We're talking about the heavy hitters here. The US Business Roundtable, the World Economic Forum, they're all saying the same thing. The old model is broken. And get this, even Japan's biggest business federation is calling for a total rethink of capitalism. That's a huge deal.
So where do we look for answers? Well, what's so cool is that one of the most powerful answers doesn't come from a fancy MBA program. It actually comes from Japan, from centuries ago. Let's talk about a philosophy called Sanpo Yoshi.
Okay, so what is it? It was developed by merchants way back in Japan's Edo period, and the idea is just elegant. It's simple. For a business to be truly successful and sustainable, it has to be good for the seller, good for the buyer, and good for society. It's not about one person winning at another's expense. It's a win-win-win.
And you might be thinking, okay, that's a nice historical idea, but it's not just history. Some of Japan's biggest companies, we're talking Toyota, Panasonic, SoftBank, they still live by this. They build contributing to society right into their core business. It just goes to show this isn't some dusty old theory. It's a real recipe for long-term success.
All right, so let's jump from ancient Japan all the way to modern-day London, because a totally different way of thinking has popped up. But, as you'll see, it has a surprisingly similar message.
So, there's this finance professor, Alex Edmonds, and he came at this whole profit versus purpose thing from a completely different direction. His work isn't about ethics or philosophy. Nope, it's all about the hard numbers, rigorous data. And what he found is that helping society doesn't hurt your profits, it actually makes them bigger.
He's coined a term for it, pie economics, and it completely flips the script on the whole debate. The core idea is simple but powerful. The pie, the total value a company creates, it isn't a fixed size. So instead of everyone fighting over their little slice of the pie, shareholders wanting their piece, employees wanting theirs, the goal is to work together to make the entire pie bigger. And when the whole pie grows, well, everybody's slice gets bigger. It's pretty logical when you think about it. I love this quote from him. It just turns the whole argument on its head. Profit isn't the enemy of purpose, it's the result of it. It's the rocket fuel that lets a company serve its purpose even more effectively. Okay, so let's pause for a second. We've got this ancient ethical code from Japan and this super modern, data-backed theory from London. Two completely different worlds. So, what happens when you put them next to each other? Well, you find out they're basically saying the same thing. They're like two sides of the same coin, just different ways of explaining a universal truth about how you create real, lasting value.
I mean, just look at this. Sanpo Yoshi comes from a place of ethics, community, and trust. Grow the Pie is driven by spreadsheets and financial models. But where do they end up? The exact same place. Both of them say, stop fighting over a small pie and start working together to build something bigger for everyone.
And the mapping is it's uncanny. Sanpo Yoshi's simple seller, buyer, society lines up perfectly with the modern idea of stakeholders. The seller, that's your shareholders and the company. The buyer, your customers, of course. And society, well, that's everybody else, your employees, the community, even the planet.
It's really like Grow the Pie took decades of modern financial data and scientifically proved what those Omi merchants knew in their gut centuries ago. You could say Sanpo Yoshi gives us the timeless why, the ethical foundation, and Grow the Pie gives us the modern how, plus the hard proof that it actually works.
So this is way more than just a neat academic idea, right? This combined philosophy is actually becoming a real-world blueprint for how businesses can and probably should operate in the future.
Take Keidanren, Japan's most influential business federation. They're actively pushing for what they call sustainable capitalism. And guess what it's built on? You guessed it, Sanpo Yoshi. They get it. They know that if we're going to tackle the big problems like inequality or climate change, we need businesses focused on growing the whole pie for everyone.
And this all leads to this incredible national vision in Japan called Society 5.0. The whole idea is to use all the amazing tech we have, AI, digital transformation, all of it, not just to make a buck, but as the main engine for solving huge social problems. It's basically the grow the pie idea, but for an entire country.
So, this all leaves us with one last really powerful question. It's not just for CEOs. It's for any business, any project, maybe even for us as individuals. And the question is this: if your company vanished tomorrow, what would the world actually lose? Think about that, because finding the answer to that is how you build something that really truly matters.